There once lived a man named Job. He was not just rich in wealth, but rich in goodness. Job loved God with all his heart. He was honest, kind, and careful to do what was right. People respected him, and his home was filled with joy. He had many children, large herds of animals, and everything a man could hope for. Every day, Job even prayed for his children, asking God to forgive them if they had done anything wrong. That's the kind of man he was, faithful, loving, and devoted. But one day, without warning, his life began to fall apart. A messenger came running to Job and said, "Your oxen and donkeys have been stolen, and the servants have been attacked." Before he could even process that news, another messenger arrived. "Fire fell from the sky and burned up your sheep and the servants." Then another came. "Your camels are gone, taken by raiders." And then the worst news of all. A final messenger came trembling and said, "Your sons and daughters were together in a house, and a strong wind caused it to collapse." None of them survived. In a single day, Job lost everything. Imagine that pain, the silence, the emptiness. Job fell to the ground, not in anger, not in rebellion, but in sorrow. And yet he said something that has echoed through time. "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." Even in deep pain, he still trusted God. But the suffering did not end there. Soon after, Job's health was taken from him. Painful sores covered his entire body. He sat in ashes, scraping his skin in agony. The man who once lived in comfort now lived in pain and rejection. Even his wife, overwhelmed by the situation, said to him, "Why do you still hold on to your faith? Curse God and give up." But Job replied, "Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" Then his friends came to visit him. At first they sat quietly with him, seeing how great his suffering was. But later they began to speak, saying, "Job, you must have done something wrong. God only punishes those who sin." But they were wrong. Job was confused. He didn't understand why this was happening. He cried out to God. He asked questions. He expressed his pain. But one thing he did not do, he did not turn away from God. After a long time, God finally answered Job, not with a simple explanation, but with a powerful reminder. God spoke about the wonders of the world, the stars, the seas, the earth, and asked Job, "Were you there when I created all these things?" In that moment, Job realized something deep. God's wisdom is far greater than human understanding. Even when we don't understand our situation, God is still in control. Humbled, Job said, "I spoke of things I did not understand." And then something beautiful happened. Because Job remained faithful through all his suffering, God restored everything he had lost, and even more. He was blessed again with a new family, greater wealth, and a long, peaceful life. Job's story reminds us that faith is not just for good times. True faith is holding on even when everything feels lost. Because sometimes after the darkest night comes the brightest morning. Subscribe, like, and share this video.